Hello everybody out there in Sacramento. This is the Realtor Reese Show. I am your host and your concierge, if you will, your consumer advocate for all things real estate, Reese Punter. It's kind of muggy out there today. Kind of gloomy out there in Sacramento. It's like hot, it's kind of muggy, kind of reminds me where I came from back east where it's always humid. But we are jam-packed today. I'm excited about our show. We have a new intern that I was just introduced to. I believe her name is Rena? Remy? Do we remember? Oh, my producer's looking at me like I'm silly. A lot of nice, exciting things going on. Exciting things both in the world of sports and in business. So we are all things sports, all things real estate here in Sacramento. You are tuned into Money 105.5. I'm going to get you on the bench right now, right away. You should start dialing, except if you're in your car. If you've escaped work a little bit early and you left your cubicle and you're driving, pull over. Dial 866-576-1055, 866-576-1055. You can also go to our Facebook page. That's Realtor Reese Show. Once you're in Facebook, just /Realtor Reese Show. We posted up a couple of questions that we will be answering a little bit later in the show. So, all things sports real estate. For those who are just listening for the first time, you're thinking, what does this have to do? What is he talking about? Real estate's great. It's what I do. I've been doing it now for 15 years here locally, and I represent a company called Sports Star Relocation. And what I do is I represent players who are being cut or traded or what have you, or welcoming into Sacramento Kings, River Cats. Heck, we're even trying to work out there with the Republic. So very unique. I've been very fortunate and exciting times because everything is different in real estate. It's forever changing. So you can imagine how it's ever changing for athletes. You're playing in one city and you're told that now you need to report to another city. You got to take a physical, you got to find a house, you got to find schools, you have to find where to go get your car. A lot of things some of the players can tell you about. For what they can't, you have me, your concierge. So, speaking of the Kings, arena is coming along nicely. Lots of traffic if you've been down there. Some of you are probably trying to avoid lower downtown like the plague, but it's starting to feel like a metropolitan city. It's really starting to feel good. So a lot of things that are going on out there. Now in terms of the Kings, they're trying to get healthy. We have successful surgery. Carl Landry undergoes successful surgery yesterday. Looks like he's going to be out a few months. They're even thinking maybe at the start of the season. So I know that he is 9 points, 6-7 rebounds a game that we will be missing if at the early stages of this season. So we hope that we get him back soon, and we hope that we can get this arena here so we can we can start visually seeing it. I know you go to their website and you can get some illustrations on what it's going to look like, but it's going to be sweet. I mean, it's going to really look good, and I think it's going to bring in a lot of attraction, at least at first, for folks coming in and wanting to see how our downtown skyline has changed. So real excited about that. World of real estate. If you've heard me in the last couple of weeks, we were talking a lot about affordability. And we are in a great place in Sacramento. Not only are we the nucleus of many things. You know, when I first came here from New York, they said, oh, you can ski and you can surf and you can be in San Francisco in the city, and you're right here in the nucleus. Coming from New York City, I thought I was out here in the middle of the weeds. I was real ticked off at my parents for moving me out here, but I got to say, I absolutely love Sacramento and where we live. Now, what's great about Sacramento in terms of housing is affordability, and we've been talking with Steve Atala was on last week. We talked a little bit about what things cost in different areas and how Sacramento is affordable as it relates to other cities in our nation. And you heard me talk about my daughter who just graduated from San Diego State. Couldn't be more proud. She is actually here in studio. She's doing a couple things now, but will be in for the next segment. And she is, I figured, why not have my daughter come on and talk about housing affordability, because it has never hit so hard than it has right now. As she is finished with school, she's looking for a place to live down south, and initially she told me she's going to be working in the OC, right? So she tells me, yeah, Dad, I'm going to go and try and find a place down in the OC, and her and her boyfriend, and it won't be by the water or anything, but yeah, I'll be real close to work. And I'm thinking, are you kidding me? You're not going to be anywhere near Newport Beach, Irvine, anywhere down south as it relates to the OC, and have an apartment anywhere. And I'm done. We're tapped out. We got 4 years. You have 4 years to graduate. You're done. So there's a lot of folks that are just graduating from college. They're getting out, and they're thinking to themselves, should I buy a home now? No, right? The rule of thumb, they always tell you, no, you get a job, save up some money, do the right thing, and then later on you can get into a home. But we have, and backed by popular demand, I should say, Antonio Lopez is here from Summit Funding. He is going to be out next segment as well. And we're going to have him right here. We're talking about a prospective buyer, and we're talking about one of the leaders in lending in Sacramento with Antonio to tell us what exactly is the rent now where she's paying versus what could she afford if she moved here. Because a lot of folks out there, I think, you're thinking, I can't afford a home. It's too much. It's too much responsibility. There's a lot of things added on. You have to pay taxes and insurance, and God forbid you have an HOA. I can't afford it, so I'm just going to go ahead and rent. And what we are seeing, I look at all of these different indices, if you will, as it relates to housing. I look at some general fundamental statistics, and I also look at a technical analysis, and I credit that to my days at Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. As a stockbroker, that's what we had to do. For some reason, realtors don't do this. And I think it's important because there's a lot of different indices out there, if you will, that not only, it doesn't directly relate to homes being bought and sold, but it is a great economic indicator. So I'm going to share that with you as well. But all things sports, all things real estate. Sports, I have my pregame meal, as everyone knows. We're kind of a weird time, right? I'm at the drive time, right? And then afterwards at 5, I'm usually responding to emails and returning calls that I got in and whatnot. By the way, we got some people on the bench. If you want to join, I see 3 more lines available. It's 866-576-1055. You can certainly, if you're shy, reach me at Reese at RealtorReese.com. Reese at RealtorReese.com. If you have any questions that you want answered while on the show, I will go ahead and do that. We know we have I have a pregame meal almost every show, right? And we always give a shout out to a local restaurant here that has participated in my hunger, and we've had some great restaurants on. When we come back from the break, I have in studio, he's agreed to come in and actually say a couple of things. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about my pregame meal, as I'm going to try and sneak in a couple bites while we have break here. All right, I'm going to, you guys hang tight. You can smell the greatness through this microphone. But hang on, don't go anywhere. The Realtor Reese Show is coming back. Stay tuned. You are with Realtor Reese. I am Reese Punter. The Realtor Reese Show, getting you over the hump each and every Wednesday. I'm here locked in from 4 to 5. Thank you for joining me, and I want to bring in a gentleman who I've known, gosh, for a decade. And you know how you meet someone, you connect with them, you respect what they do, they respect what you do. They don't live far from you, but the communication just kind of dies out. And fortunately, we've had this arena, we've had with me being in real estate and whatnot, it kind of sparks something every now and again, right? Sometimes you just drive by folks, as I did the other day, and you see someone and you're like, oh my gosh, why did I lose contact with this individual? His business has prospered. I told him about my pregame meal. He said, Reese, anytime, I've got you, come on out. Over 20 years of experience, former proprietor of a brick and mortars place, he has an innovative idea, a lot like me. A lot of you out there, you remember I had an innovative idea back in 2009 with integrating an attorney with real estate as it relates to short sales. It was successful. I've got some new things on the horizon too, so stay tuned. This guy, as innovative as I am, but in his own right, over 20 years cooking, owner of a restaurant that I've come to just absolutely love, and he's even made it more convenient. So I am with, in studio, Donnell Hendricks of Taste Real Foods. Donnell, thank you for coming into the Realtor Reese show. Glad to see you sitting here. You didn't think you'd be here 24 hours ago, did you?
Not at all, not at all.
Donnell, speaking to the mic there.
Oh,
there you go.
Not at all, but thank you for the invite. I definitely appreciate it.
No problem. Great to have you on. Great to experience this food. I'm looking out there. We got all kinds of staff and interns. Everybody's eating. I want to ask you some questions so you can talk and I can eat. But
okay. Sounds good.
Over 20 years in the business, I've known you for 10. And when I met you, you had a food truck and you were stationed in one place, and I knew kind of where to come to get you. And I got to tell you, I took it for granted.
Right.
I'm like, he's always going to be there, right? He wasn't there. And I'm asking my wife, did you see the truck? You see the truck? Did you see the truck? What happened? I bet they got on him and they hadn't made a move. I don't know what's going on. So good to run into you again. And thanks again for putting something together so quickly and coming down here. Now, you owned a restaurant out in, I believe it was Elk Grove, right?
Right, correct.
Okay. And so what happened? Why'd you go mobile?
Well, just decided to go mobile. I kind of felt like it was easier just to move around. Owned a restaurant out in Elk Grove for several years. The name of the restaurant was called The Bayou.
Okay.
And and after a while, we just decided to go mobile. So we built a big 30-foot mobile kitchen. Yeah, full-blown kitchen on wheels.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And decided just to focus in on our catering. And and that's how I met you at the time. So we were and as business has grown, we've done plenty of catering, more corporate and private parties also.
Sure.
And having the trailer also, we were one of the founders with Sacto Mofo, the mobile food trucks here in town.
Got it.
So we participated. Our food truck is called Simply Southern Foods. So
that's what I remember.
Yeah. So so with our mobile Simply Southern food truck, we're the ones that have been delivering delicious barbecue.
Yeah, I was gonna say, tell the audience what you specialize in. I know what I like.
Yeah. Well, we specialize in barbecue and good Southern food. So we have
real food.
Real food. Yes. Things like homemade macaroni and cheese, jambalaya, dirty rice. Yes, barbecue. We do delicious pulled porks, mouth-watering pork spare ribs.
And I see and smell some of it too.
Yeah.
And I got caught. And I'm down the hallway. I'm like, can somebody bring me a plate, please?
I know. I brought you some delicious barbecue hot links and macaroni and cheese in today. Some of our delicious barbecue baked beans.
Great stuff. So I know that you moved in a direction that was mobile, and it seemed like the right thing to do as more folks, because I'm in real estate, so I see this all the time, these statistics.
Right.
And just in our neighborhood, as you do live in my neighborhood, we've seen a spike up 7%. So we've gone from a 5% turnover ratio to now a 12% turnover ratio.
Correct.
Sometimes people move away,
Right.
and they just leave, and we forgot to connect. They forget to come back to that brick and mortar place.
Correct.
So I imagine it's a little bit more convenient with the catering, and now looks like you're doing prepackaged meals.
Right, correct. Yes. Being that we always done catering, but we still have customers that still have a need and want our food, basically. So what we decided to do is start prepackaging our meals, so that way people could have the meals at their convenience, basically. They can pre-buy the meals we deliver to your home. And like I said, we have a wide variety of meals. We have things like barbecued meatloaf. We have smothered chickens, smothered pork chops.
I got to venture out. I got to venture because I get the same thing every time I come. And you've done some great things for us before, and oftentimes because it's me, it's short notice, right? It's like, hey, D, I need you to do da da da, and you've always accommodated. And I've got to venture out. I've got to start. So, a person like me, where I stick to my macaroni and cheese, and I get my beans, and I might get some ribs or hot links. What would you recommend?
Oh man, one of our top sellers, I would say, is definitely the smoked turkey. We actually smoke the turkeys ourselves, so I mean, it's the real deal. We're not just saying smoked turkey on the label. No, we actually smoke our own turkeys. So all our food is either smoked or either baked. So we've gotten away from any fried foods. With the meatloaf, we actually prepare the meatloafs with ground turkey. So try to get away from some of the ground beef and eat a more healthier meat. You know, so yeah. We have things like barbecue rib tips. So like I said, so the main thing that we're focusing on is really having prepackaged meals and Southern style food, something that you do not see in any stores or anywhere you go. Yeah. So our whole list of items that we are providing is something that you cannot go to Bel Air or Safeway or Save Mart or any of these stores and get. You have to contact Real Food and get real food.
And that's what you should do.
Yes.
And so if you're out there and you're listening and your mouth's watering like mine, where can we find you? Where can folks say, hey, you know what? I don't want to cook tonight. I'm going to set my freezer up and I'm going to get some prepackaged meals. Where can we find you?
Oh, you can definitely find us online. You can reach us online at tasterealfoods.com, or you can send us an email at getrealfoodstoday@gmail.com.
Getrealfoodstoday.com. If you're out there and you're driving in your car and you just tuned in, you are listening to the Realtor Reese Show. I am your host, Realtor Reese Punter. You're listening and locked in to 105.5, the Money Channel. Every Wednesday, we are getting you over the hump as we talk all things sports, all things real estate, and where does food come into play? Well, I like a pre-game meal, ladies and gentlemen, and I like convenience. And that's another thing that we were talking with Darnell Hendricks here of Taste Real Foods. How'd you ever come up with the name? How'd you ever come up with this? Because as in my business, right? You always have to reinvent yourself seemingly every few years, right? To market conditions and what your clients want or need.
Correct.
With the innovation of the internet and where things are going, I had to tweak and change some things to reach clients. Now, in your line of work, I don't know about you, but we've seen in the last half decade, maybe 30, 35 different cooking shows. Folks on TV, it's become huge, right? It's now this new culture, right? And where we have a name, it's called foodies, right? Foodies. But you had to reinvent yourself in the last half decade. How'd you do it and how'd you come up with the ideas?
Well, just kind of noticing that, with people living such busy lives nowadays, people are just trying to raise kids, working, so many different hours. I realized that just because people don't have time to cook, they don't want to cook, maybe they do not know how to cook, does not mean that you do not want a real home cooked meal.
You don't have to wait till Thanksgiving.
Right, exactly.
You can even get smoked turkey.
Smoked turkey, right now today.
Very, very good. No, and you're right. It's seemingly everyone, there's just more restaurants just everywhere, they've made it more convenient, like your living room. My wife and I were just having a conversation on when we were growing up, we couldn't have the television anywhere near where we were eating.
Correct.
Maybe this Friday, maybe once a quarter. My grandfather maybe got a bonus or something, right? Everybody was having in a good mood that day. You might be able to roll that television on that cart, a little bit closer so you guys can see the TV. Now there's televisions everywhere. They're made it more, family environment and whatnot. But the convenience factor is what I really, really love. So tell me, and we've tried various things. There's different companies out there where you go and you prepare your food, you freeze it, and whatnot. But you're on a monthly plan. You have to show up, and it becomes a chore. How are you different? How are you different than, let's say, one of these places that you go out, you cook the meal, and you put it in your freezer? What do you offer that they don't?
Well, I know there's companies out there that allow you to come in and kind of prepare the meals and put the meals together yourself. We're not going to have you do that.
Not fun.
We're taking away all the work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not fun.
Yeah, exactly. So with our meals, it's just a heat and eat thing.
I like that. Heat and eat.
Yes.
It's like shake and bake.
Exactly. Heat and eat. Yes.
I like it.
And trust me, you will see and taste the difference in our food. You would swear up and down you just came to my house and sat down and had dinner with my family. I promise you that.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. So what, now I'm going to hold you out here on
Okay,
this.
okay.
Donnell and I have been talking, and so here's what I'm going to do. Go to my Facebook page. Go to Realtor Reese on Facebook. Just type in Realtor Reese, you'll see my smiling mug. And hit the likes page. So we have a ticker I'm looking at right now for those who hit the likes page. I just got two. In the next 24 hours, you purchase home from me. Purchase a home from me. So my buyers out there, you know who you are. Go to my page, hit the likes. When you move from one place to another, the last thing you want to do is cook. We hear stories and neighbors bring over stuff for you and whatnot. I will do at a specially discounted rate from our good friend Donnell Hendricks, Taste of Real Food, supply dinner for your family for the first week that you're in the home once we close escrow.
Sounds great, and I'll be more than happy to provide that. And one thing that we are so famous for it, that I know my wife would kill me if I did not mention, is our famous corn cake.
I was waiting for that. I'm looking at the website right now, folks.
We have delicious corn cakes. Some of you out there may have seen the corn cake van driving around. Our slogan says, is it cornbread or is it cake? It's corn cake, so good you'll swear it's cake.
That's you.
That's me.
Oh my gosh.
We are the corn cake van.
Okay, got it. I've seen it around in the Thomas actually.
Yes. So if you love cornbread, my God, this is it. We serve the best cornbread you will ever wrap your lips around.
I see one of my production assistants giving me the thumbs up, and you're absolutely right. Folks, www.tasterealfoods.com. We've got everything from smothered meatloaf, smothered chicken, smothered pork chops, smothered turkey. Now look, Darnell, I've represented a few Kings players in the past. Huge appetites.
Right.
Huge appetites, right? My wife looks at me like I'm crazy when a couple of guys come over. We wanted to watch a ball game. I said, hey, honey, I've got so-and-so coming over. Can you whip something up? You should see the look on it. Now we know where to go. And folks, right now, up until the beginning of the year, let's get through this summer. If you remember the Kings organization, and a lot of you guys out there know me, get to me and learn about a special discount that I can, at the Realtor Reese show, will actually go ahead and put forth in ordering your meals. A lot of athletes, come on, they're not cooking, they're not doing anything. I've even had a request from an athlete who had one of his favorite restaurants here in Sacramento. They close at 10.
Right.
7:30 start time. You're not out there until 10:30.
Right.
They stayed open, and I would swing by and I would get his meal and bring it to him because he absolutely loved it. So, they will go through anything to make sure that they're feeding their body the right things. And what I really love about this is that it's a healthier product, and you even note how many calories the caloric intake. That's very important now.
Yes.
Okay, so great food. Folks, if you're out there, you're listening, tasterealfoods.com. I'm going to go ahead and attach your link to my website. So if you go to realtorreese.com, you can go ahead and hit the link, tasterealfoods.com. The menu is right there. The food is delicious. What is next for your company? Expansion.
Expansion.
You know what?
So if you guys are hungry, just give us a call and we will deliver this food to your front door.
Absolutely. Thank you. Let's give them a number real quick.
Okay. You can reach us at area code 916-246-6777. Once again, that's 246-6777.
246-6777. You do it well. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supplying the pre-game meal. Donnell, always great to see you.
Likewise. Thank you so much.
Folks, listen up. We are coming back with some very, very good information and a few surprises for you. Come on back. You are listening to The Realtor Reese Show. Don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome back. You are with Realtor Reese. You are listening to The Realtor Reese Show. And I just discovered something, ladies and gentlemen. I discovered how quickly I could eat, because that was some good, real food. We had Donnell Hendricks. If you are just tuning in, you may have missed a treat, but you can experience it yourself. Donnell Hendricks is the proprietor of Taste Real Foods. You can go to tasterealfoods.com, look at the menu. It's a great innovative idea that he has in prepackaged foods. You throw it in the freezer, you want something real, you want something that's not processed, you want something not fried. Go ahead, follow the simple instructions, even I can follow them. And boom, you're done. You're ready to go, you're ready to eat. So, speaking of ready to go, I'm joined by I feel like we're in a little clubhouse here. This is great. I don't like being alone because, your listeners out there, you kind of, you're not here. It's like that vibe. I'm not getting it, but I get it here as I am joined. First off, my daughter, you guys hear me talk about her all the time. She just graduated from San Diego State. Thought she'd be a great person to have in to tell us about the real deal in the real world and affordability in housing. So, Chelsea, thank you for joining me today. Lovely to have you.
Good to be here, Dad.
Well, great. Initially you were going to go to school for broadcast journalism.
I was.
Who would have thunk that I'd be on this side of the desk interviewing you?
I know.
Right?
It's crazy how things happen like that.
So, first question, you keeping the room clean? No.
Right.
We are also joined with Summit Funding's finest. Antonio Lopez is here. He was here a couple of weeks ago and we talked about affordability and housing. He's got some new data that just came out hot off the press today. Antonio, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Reese. Excited to be here.
You're looking sharp.
Appreciate it. I didn't get any hot link little sauce on.
No, you did great.
Good?
You did great.
All right.
You look good. You're looking great.
Appreciate it.
We have, if you're holding and you are on the bench, we are All Things Sports Real Estate. You can reach us at 866-576-1055. And I am going to take one caller that is coming in off the bench. First caller is Steve. Steve, you are live with Realtor Reese. How can we help you? Folks, and speaking of the bench, my oftentimes co-pilot Steve Hatala is on the line. How'd you sneak in? What's going on the bench where you're at? Because you're on location. We have, the Realtor Reese show. We got extensions. We extend way out. Where are you branching out from today, and what do you have to report? All right. How they do? Oh. Can we disconnect this call?
Yeah, get this guy off. I mean, this is ridiculous.
What's going on here? What's going on here? You're talking about Pittsburgh, you're talking about...
Disrespecting my loan skills.
Jeez.
No respect. Sit in that traffic, Steve.
Yep. Well, it's great weather. It's great weather, and it's great to get out there, with the kids. It's, hey, listen, we're spending a ton of money to support these players, these ballparks. Take advantage of it. Do the whole thing. Do the tour. Go out to the new Candlestick or wherever. It's in San Jose, Santa Clara now. Great tours out there. Go to San Francisco, tour that, and they got sushi. It's like fine dining. You got it all over there at the ballpark, right? It's a treat. It's a treat, and you got to experience it all. And so when you get back, we're gonna have the interest rate challenge and get you guys both in studio and have Realtor Reese's interest rate challenge. Steve, always a pleasure to talk to you. You get home safe. I'm glad you had fun, and we will talk to you next week. Okay. Steve Atala in with Summit Funding. Getting a little sneak in. Do you believe that, Antonio?
Ridiculous. I don't know who's running this show.
The Mets. It's all about the Mets, I tell you. Goodness gracious. So, back to what we were discussing. you've got affordability in housing. We've got some new reports that we're going to be discussing. We're even going to give you, the listeners out there, a little treat. We got something free for you if you tune in and you stay tuned. But we are here at the Realtor Reese Show, locked in between 4 and 5 each and every Wednesday, getting you over the hump. Chelsea Punter just graduated from San Diego State, and you have a job, and congratulations on that.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you.
That is great. Means you're not, I'd love you to come back home. You always have a room, but I'm glad you did it in 4 years and you're out, got a job, and you're going to be down now in the OC.
Yes.
Exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting. You know, I went to San Diego State, had no idea that I'd have such a great time, but I decided to take an offer in Orange County, and I mean, I love the OC.
So what are you going to be doing?
Working for an IT staffing firm, and I currently live 3 miles from the beach, so it's not that bad. Not
call
that
that
bad.
Inland, right? You're inland.
Right, inland, yeah.
Because each mile that you come closer, the rent goes up, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And
Exactly.
so what are you experiencing? What is your rent in? Because you're kind of outside, right? You're right outside, and you're in Costa Mesa.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so Costa Mesa, as it relates to where you are, you're only 3 miles away, right?
Right, so I'm 3 miles from the beach.
Okay.
I'm about a 10-minute commute into Irvine, maybe about 12, 13 minutes from Newport Beach, and a little bit, I don't know, I'd say maybe 10 minutes from Santa Ana.
So you told me what you're paying in rent, so I'm thinking, what, 5, 6 bedrooms?
Yeah, so I actually own a 4-bedroom home. No, just kidding. I am in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment. Like I said, 3 miles from the beach. That's what I really try and sell, because once I tell you what I pay in rent, it's just ridiculous. It's a nice, nice price of $1,759.
$1,700. Wow.
Yeah.
I was right.
I know. It's almost embarrassing to actually say.
$1,700. So what I have done today, I've asked Antonio to come in and give you out there, if you're in your car right now and you're driving back from work and you were sitting at work all day, you did your taxes a little while ago, and maybe your accountant said, you need some write-offs, you need something, right? Maybe you should buy a home, and you think, well, interest rates are good, but I can't afford it, right? I've asked Antonio, I said, for fun, let's take $1,760, $1,750. What kind of home, Antonio, could someone have if, let's say, beloved Chelsea here decides to move up to Northern California? You're in Sacramento, one of the most affordable places to live that isn't distressed.
Right.
We're not out in shambles like some markets in Detroit, some parts of Vegas, some parts of Texas. So you move back here, you got $1,750 a month to spend. What are we looking at?
Yeah, what does that translate as far as your sales price, right?
Yeah,
your purchasing power.
Yeah.
Well, I looked at it from a couple different angles. You're going to be on an FHA loan, which again, I'm going to remind the listeners, that's a 3.5% down payment. You can always put more, but with 3.5% down, you're looking at a sales price of $260,000.
Wow.
Wow.
260.
Wow, so you're right there, right there, give or take a few thousand in the median.
Oh, yeah.
The median here in Sacramento County. So you can get a very nice, decent home.
What is the median in Sac County?
$280 right now.
Okay, so yeah, you're not far off. And on a conventional loan with 5% down, which is $13,500
Okay.
of $270,000 sales price.
Okay.
And if you got a little bit more money to play with, maybe your dad's kind of, he's a big shot, right? He's on a radio show, you got a lot of cash. He could provide a gift of down payment of maybe 20%.
I like where this is going.
We're at a $335 sales price. So Chelsea, come on home to NorCal, baby.
All of a sudden,
Daddy's got Daddy
in a
Warbucks.
Being in a car with Steve in traffic right now sounds much better than this hot seat. Oh my gosh.
Got a hot link for the hot seat.
So folks, if you're out there and you are 1,300, 1,200, 1,400, 1,500, 16, hopefully not 17, 2,500, but if you are at $1,200 or more and you're spending that right now and you're renting, you owe it to yourself to reach out immediately, if not sooner. You can reach me at realtorreese.com. You can also reach our lender, our extraordinaire, You know what, because you're in studio, I'm gonna side, I don't know which way to go here when we have the interest rate challenge, but where can folks reach you, Antonio, if they need to?
They can call me at 916-396-8193. I'd throw out Steve's number, but it's all about safety, guys. He's stuck in traffic. I don't want him texting while driving. I don't want him answering phones. I'll take care of it, and I'll tee it up for Steve when he gets back to the 916.
Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent. And we've got a couple of questions for you when we do return. This is just flying by, you guys.
Definitely.
It's flying by. We've got a treat. We've got a couple of questions. Maybe I can get you on the hot seat. I'm going to think of some things.
Oh, no.
But folks, if you are out there, stay strapped in. I've got one more bit of great information for you. You are listening to the Realtor Reese Show. Stay tuned. Not enough time. My producer, Steve Gasser, he's in there just eating and having fun, and I'm out here trying to get my few bites in. Great stuff. If you've missed us and you are just tuning in, you were racing from the cubicle to the parking lot to get 105.5 on. Listen to the Realtor Reese Show, getting you over the hump each and every Wednesday. I am your host, Realtor Reese Punter. I am a practicing realtor here in the Sacramento area for more than a decade and has represented hundreds, if not thousands, of buyers and sellers here in the community and had a lot of fun doing it. Doing that, I've partnered myself with many of our industry's finest, and I'm passing that on to you, along with some reality. We have my daughter here who just graduated from San Diego State, Chelsea Punter, talking about the real isms, I don't even know if that's a word, I'm going to make it one, about being out on your own and what is affordable. We live in Sacramento, one of the most affordable cities in our nation to own a home. And we're also joined by our Summit Funding's finest, Antonio Lopez, and he's here to answer all questions. His electronic devices over there are going off furiously. But one of the things I like to talk about, Antonio, is when I was a broker and I'm working for Morgan Stanley, we talked about income securities, we talked about debt securities and bonds, etc. We never spoke about real estate, and I'd sit across the table with some pretty powerful people who I know had some pretty powerful real estate portfolios. And one of the terms they used to use was, well, it's a forced savings account. And I'm thinking, okay, well, what does that mean? And so for you listeners out there, and for those who are on the fence about buying, you're thinking, you know what, I'm not going to go through the hassle, there's too much this, there's too much that. Is it a hassle? Is it really? Or is it just something different? Because what you're dealing with now is the unknown. And a lot of times you don't know if the owner of that home is going to sell it, if the apartment's going to go up in rent, if you're going to have to move, how long is your lease, etc. There's so many things in terms of the unknown, and you're moving a lot. And not to mention some of the tax benefits and all that you can get into. But the forced savings account comes from having this intrinsic number, this number of, let's say, $250,000, right? Because now we know $1,750 that we are paying in rent that we do not get to write off the interest every year, and that may go up on your lease, Chelsea, next year. We don't know what's going to happen there, and not to mention that if you got a roommate, you only got one parking pass, you got to park 6-7 blocks down the road and walk. It's just a headache sometimes. But what we do know with homes is that eventually it's going to go up in value. And so let's just take that $250,000 number and say that it went up 10% over the next 2 years, something modest, 5% a year. Well, now we're taking 10% on $250,000. So it's a $25,000 increase. You couldn't save $25,000 in the next 2 years to save your life if you had to, right, Chelsea?
Right.
You got expenses, you got things to do. I can't save 25 grand.
Yeah, definitely.
But owning a home, you get two things. You got the equity, not to mention you got, you get to write off a certain amount of things. You talk to your local CPA about that.
Right.
But one of the things that I noticed, and I took something very specific because I had even, your mother and I toyed with the idea of, let's buy a condo down there in San Diego and let's put you guys in it. Right? I know. Sounds crazy out there. Sounds crazy. But let's put these college kids in it because I always say everybody buys a house. Everybody buys a house, but not everybody owns one. And so renters, you're buying a house. You might be buying it for me. You might be buying it for Antonio. You may be buying it for Chelsea someday. But you don't own it. You don't have those ownership rights, the maximum bundle of rights that come with owning a home. You can gift it, will it, sell it, write things off, etc. So you don't have that. So why don't we put them in for 4 years and then we'll sell it afterwards, and it'll be a great bon voyage for you for college, for graduating, as a gift to give you that equity. My wife says, yeah, it probably isn't going to go up, right? We're in a pretty bad situation 4 years ago, right? So let's look back 4 years ago, 2011. I'm taking a community right here in Sacramento, 3301 North Park. It's in North Natomas. Got a lot of friends over there, sold some condos over there. Great establishment, love that community. They were selling for $90,000 in 2011. So if you're doing the math out there, folks, in your head, don't let me. Just drive.
Reese, with your permission, I'm going to interrupt you right now.
Go ahead.
I'm literally doing a loan on that exact condo park right now. I'm
really?
meeting a client tomorrow, Juan, who's buying in that condominium complex.
Really?
Yeah. So this makes it really hit home for me. So continue.
Juan, if you're listening,
Yeah.
$90,000 in 2011 that these were going for, right? Buy low, sell high. Condos now over there, 2 bedrooms, are closing, townhomes, condos, closing at around $225,000. There's your forced savings account, ladies and gentlemen. With about 10% in selling the home, realtor fees, all that, title, escrow, etc. Just factor in 8, 9, 10%. 10% on the high note. Even with all the costs, you're out of there with over, what, we're looking at a $150,000 gain. $150,000 gain in 4 years. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're out there now, let me tell you, the look on my daughter's face as she's like, we're going to Hawaii in a couple of weeks. And she's like, I could have had $150,000? And
Right.
we're going to Hawaii?
Right? No, Hawaii's still great. Hawaii's still great.
We can't predict the future, but what we do know is if you bought a home in the 20s, it was worth more in the 30s. If you bought a home in the 40s, it was worth more in the 50s, and so on and so on and so on. Had we economic downturn in the late 2000s? Absolutely, right? Arguably, our nation's worst.
Right.
But it was a great buying opportunity, and I still think it's a great buying opportunity because, like stocks, we're taught to look at the ceiling and we're taught to look at the floor. And we are still not at the ceiling in a lot of communities here in Sacramento County. Interest rates are still incredibly low.
Incredibly low.
What happened today? Something happened. There was
Yeah, we had a
movement
couple
in
price
shares.
changes for the worse, so that means rates ticked up a hair, and then we ended with a price change for the better. So they've been volatile, they have been, but they've been artificially kept low to stimulate our economy for the last few years.
Well said. Artificially, I wouldn't
Yeah.
use a term. Yeah, you're right. No,
You know, the
absolutely.
feds are buying back mortgage-backed securities, which basically helps keep the economy moving along, keeps rates lower, just makes consumer confidence remain strong.
Sure. You bet it does. I mean, jobs are getting better, right? I mean, we're below, as a nation, we're below 10% for the first time in a long time. And consumer credit. I know that the fourth quarter and the first quarter, people are using their credit cards again. People are getting back out there. People are doing it. So, what does that mean now? The little shift, this stuff. You said a little bit of volatility.
Yeah.
It's consistent, really, with what's going on with buyers and sellers.
That's right, Reese. I mean, here's the bottom line. When you look at historical averages over the past 30, 35 years, rates are between 7 and 8%.
Yeah.
So, I was talking to my parents recently, and they had refinanced and got 10% and were thrilled to get it. They thought they were like stealing from the bank.
Oh, sure.
So, it's human nature to want the, lowest rate, the fastest car, the whatever it is, right?
Sure.
So it's like, well, at the water cooler, my buddy told me he had 4%, and I'm at 4.25.
Sure.
Well, today, if you're locking in on an FHA loan, you're right around 3.875,
Wow.
4%.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with that. Low 4% range on a 30-year fix for a conventional loan. So 4 to 4.375, depending on down payment and credit score.
You hear this, Chelsea? You may
Yes.
be moving up.
So-
you may be moving up here faster.
Rates are still ridiculous in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, it's just that translates into affordability. We just talked about that.
Folks, never, never, never again. I don't think we're going to see this for quite some time. It's all cyclical, right? You need to call in. Where can we reach you? One more time.
The best number to reach you is 916-396-8193.
396-8193. Or you can certainly log on to realtorreese.com. Let me know. So in closing, what could you do for my daughter? She just graduated, right? She hasn't started her job yet. She's got great credit. We've got a little bit of money. We know what she could afford. What could you do for her, being that she hasn't started her job?
So let's dig in a little bit. What I'm looking at when I qualify anybody for a loan are 3 ingredients: cash, credit, income. So we've got a little bit of cash. Daddy may help out with some gift funds. Credit score should be decent, right?
Definitely.
Paying student loans, you're taking care of stuff. So income is really critical for you because you're just exiting school, entering the workforce. So if I can show that your degree relates to your new job, marketing with a new marketing style, as far as your position.
4 years job history?
Right.
Are you
So
kidding
I
me?
can use this, you're receiving a salary with the new position?
Yes.
Okay, so I can use that salary and qualified income. Give me 30 days worth of pay stubs and you're pre-approved to go shopping.
Pre-approved,
Wow.
right here. Realtor Reese Show. That music means it's time to eat. Catch us next week, Realtor Reese Show.